guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. I'm just gonna do a quick video on cleaning out the Clasica Lacunza wood stove again. It is due for a good cleaning, and of course I know the signs now. There was smoke coming out from underneath the top of the wood stove, so that is screaming clean me out now. So I'm just going to put some video clips together on my cell phone this time to make it quicker and easier and show you what the process is now that we've sort of got a routine for doing this. So you can see how thick this is getting. I'll get a flashlight to look down there. That's where the flue opens and closes. And it gets pretty choked up down there. It's not as bad as it's been in the past. You can see to the bottom, but it clings to the sides of the oven and the wall. But the first time we did this, when it was smoking so bad, this cavity was completely filled to the top of the stove. So get this all cleaned out. The stuff Chris knocked out of the chimney will be down there. So you can see all the shiny metal in there. You can see the ribs on the side of the oven. You can see stamps in the cast iron. A little hard to get in the nooks and crannies like up here, but the first time we did it, the flue wouldn't even open and close properly. So there was a lot of soot and ash in here. There's absolutely no information online or the company site about how to clean this stove or what to do. So that's why I'm doing these videos, so people know. This little gasket came off, and it goes right here around where the chimney goes up. So we've got to get that put back in underneath this, and so that it's in the right place when we put the lid back on. It comes loose, so make sure you don't put the stove top back without that. Now, since we have to put that gasket right around this groove, don't forget to vacuum the bottom of the stovetop, because you can see how much stuff is clinging to that, and try not to vacuum the gaskets out. I think probably after a few years we'll replace these gaskets, but this one always falls out, and like I said, try to remember to vacuum the bottom of the cooktop. So again, now you can see the stamping on the metal. Get in there with that tool and scrape this as well as you can. I did suck the gasket a little bit by mistake, so we pressed it back into place. Now we'll get this one back in and get this put back down. And then we have to clean out the little vent at the bottom. The other thing I want to mention is there is a little metal T that it has screw holes in it, so it goes like that, narrows in, and comes out here. It's an inch too short to cover this crack, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. I would never have known it was there if it hadn't clinked on the tile when it fell off when we cleaned the first time. So make sure that is back in place. We've got to get the holes lined up, and Chris is going to go get a little piece of aluminum to put an extension here for me. Use a flashlight to line up your holes before you start putting the bolts back in, and only put them in a little bit of the way in each of them, because if you tighten one or two down, you can't get the other ones lined up perfectly. By the way, don't take these two out where the joint is. We tried that the first time. So we'll get the rest of these holes lined up and this piece of metal, and then we'll screw it down. And it wouldn't hurt to put a little bit of oil. We usually put some oil on the bolts when we put them back in, because they get pretty rusty. It's not going to stick out, is it?
Maybe there.
Okay. Now is the other part lined up?
Oh no, I thought you had that done.
No, I just put it in there so we wouldn't forget.
Oh.
Okay, well that was not fun, getting that T in there and that extra piece of metal. It was too long. Chris cut it a little shorter. Now he's screwing all the bolts in a little bit at a time first. Get them all started and then screw them all down tight. These are the two for the bottom that we still have to do. And that Allen key came with the stove. Don't lose it. Don't put it in with your IKEA stuff. Keep it in the kitchen drawer where you know where it is. Now also, this is a telescoping pipe. So we keep this, we did have a bungee cord, but it broke. So we keep these two S-hooks with the twine in the kitchen with the Allen key. And we just put the pipe up so we can take the stove top off. You have to take the 3 little screws out. It telescopes inside and then you can clean properly. I've got it hooked onto my cast iron racking. Now this is the only thing mentioned in the manual about cleaning the stove out. This is completely inadequate. I did this a couple of times, you know, because that's what it mentioned in the manual. But like I said, all the way up the side of the stove and underneath the top was completely full of creosote and ash. So this is not enough. So you can see, I think, it goes all the way to the back of the stove. So I will scrape it out and then vacuum it. Okay, so you can see how cleared out that was. I think it was about 1.5 inches deep. It was right full again. So, and there's a little thing there that bounces back and forth. Don't really know what that's supposed to do. But this lip here is about 2 inches high, and it was pretty full. So it's all nice and clean now. Let's see if I can get it to focus. So the whole stove is pretty much cleaned out, except now I got to clean up the dust and filth and mess. Sure glad I wore light colored pants today. Just gonna get the nuts started on this. And again, don't tighten one because you need to get one started and then get the other in. Okay, time to start this stove. Flue open. Open the vents. Almost full when you're starting the fire. Got some newspaper and kindling. I'll light that. Looks like flames to me. That's going pretty good. And then what I do is I try and keep some fairly small logs like that one or some pieces like that to add after the kindling, and wait to add your bigger logs. I'll let this catch a bit better before I put some of the smaller stuff on. So I got those 3 smaller pieces on there. Another hint, when you open the door, open it so it's ajar, but don't open it right up because a big puff of smoke will come out. Ask me how I know. So just get it ajar, let the air go up the pipe because the flue's open, and then open the door. If you just jerk the door open, smoke comes with it. Now I'm going to close these vents back up. So you're screwing them towards you, and then I open it 3 turns. So bring it all the way back in and then just open it 2 or 3 turns so it's about halfway. And I leave it like that till the fire's going good, and then I'll close the flue. And open the door ajar, the oven, because that's what you're going to use to heat your house. And don't forget your eco fan. I put it right here, so when the air rises from the oven, it gets that thing going, blows it into the living room. So now you know what we do as a routine practice, and this time I wrote it on the calendar so that we can sort of keep track of how long, because it's different now that we've moved into this house and we're using it on a daily basis. We're barely using the propane stove to cook. Last year we were still using the propane stove in the other tiny house to cook mostly. So different ball game this year, and I want to keep track of how long we can go without having to clean it out. And then maybe it'll be easier to sort of put it on the calendar and schedule it. Either way, hope this video helps some other folks out there that are having the same problems. And I don't want to discourage people from buying this stove. I still say bang for the buck. It is just fantastic. We are barely using propane at all now. And it's a game changer if you're going off grid. So love the stove. Just people need help knowing how to clean it out and what to do when it starts smoking your house out. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.